So for the December Water Well Journal, I wrote an article on this, but just to recap that a little bit, well development, there's not one size fits all. It's different types of well screen, different types of well design, different formations. They all call for different approaches. So for some wells, some of the conventional approaches would be swab and airlift. That's done commonly. Or if it's cable to a well, they dry swab. In other words, swab without circulation. That's done commonly, and they work. They're not for every single well. There needs to be a tight fit against the well screen. That can't always happen depending on the tooling that the driller has and the design of the well screen. There's jetting, horizontal high velocity jetting, and that works great, but I think for some screens, it wouldn't be very optimal. For example, for a louvered screen, the only way you're going to get that jet to shoot out through the filter pack sand and reach the borehole face where the development needs to happen is if you point it downward at a 45-degree angle. That means it has to take a long path through that filter pack, be less effective. For wire wrap, of course, it'd be more effective. So it just depends on what has been tried and true in a particular local area and what the formation calls for and what the well design calls for. All those things need to kind of connect. And if they don't, then there's going to be a less than optimal well development. And one thing we've learned from experience is myself and I think a lot of the groundwater industry adhered to the recommendations of the Groundwater and Wells book, which was 7.5 minutes per linear foot of well screen, do that much development. And we always specified that for years and years. Myself and many of my associates in other companies now are calling for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes per linear foot, more time, because we're realizing it was good, it all costs money, so you don't want to over call for well development, but it wasn't 100%, it wasn't maximum. And that, in a new well, that's your chance to remove that wall cake that will be the speed bump for water production in the future. So that's the time to do it. And what's good to keep in mind is it's not only the fine material that will clog and impede the groundwater flow into the well, but also there's organics in there from the polymers that are used in drilling fluid or other things, and those organics will be food for naturally occurring bacteria, so you'll have clogging media, biological clogging on that borehole face if you don't completely remove the wall cake. So you want to do as thorough a job as you can so you get that good, efficient well performance afterwards. This means that sometimes we'll use chemicals. It could be chlorine to just kill the organic polymers and things like that. It could be surfactants, which is basically a type of soap to break down and remove the clay. It could be acids in some cases. Uncommon for well development, but it could be, depends on the local aquifer. So there's no real rules, but it's a matter of do your homework, think about the complete system, not just, here's what we've always done. That's never the right answer, and I hear it way too often. If what you've always done worked for the last well but would not work for this well, then don't do what you've always done. Do something new, because you're at a new place. You're in a new well every single time with a new design at a new geologic environment. So do something new and don't be afraid of that, but do your homework and know what you're doing. We have a lot of skilled, experienced professionals in the groundwater industry, and we want to encourage them to embrace that knowledge base and do good and thorough development with whatever means they're using.